My number one priority being family, how do I start measuring that so I can improve it? So about 18 months ago, about 12 months ago, I realised that this was a gap for me and that I wanted to improve my performance. The problem is, how do you measure that? It's quite an intangible. It's quite easy to go, one of my priorities is finance. How do I measure that? It's numbers, isn't it? How do I measure nutrition? You start tracking what you eat. It's easy to measure. This is more difficult. So I thought I'd share with you a bit of an anecdote of what I did. So about a year ago, I realised this was a gap for me, realised that I wanted to invest more time, more energy, more focus in this area of my life. And I actually purchased a course. It was $6,000. And the premise of the course was, it was specifically created for men, married men, on how to be a better husband, a better father, basically be a better leader of your family. Some of you are looking at each other and going, I might recommend that to somebody that I know. What's the name of the course? I could see you. And what they shared in this course was there are 5 dials, 5 areas to track and to measure. And again, this isn't particularly relevant, but I'll tell you what the 5 are. The 5 were parenting, and the goal was to do something, an action each day in each of these 5 areas. And when you do an action in this area, you earn a point. And the goal is to earn 7 points a week and a total score of 35 points a week. So you're gamifying the thing called prioritising family, which I quite like, worked really well for me. Parenting was one, so doing something deliberately every day to be a better parent, a better dad. The second one was partner, doing something deliberately every single day to be a better partner, a better husband. 3, producer, doing something every day to produce, provide for us as a family. Number 4 is player, so do something every day that's playful and that engages us all together. And then number 5 is power, which is making sure that no matter what's happening around me, that my mental, emotional state, how I'm showing up, is in my power and not anybody else's. And the power one, I started off with a point every day, and if I lost that power, I lose the point. So that one was measured in reverse. So the goal was 35 points a week, and I simply started tracking, because whatever you measure improves. Say it with me. Whatever you measure improves, right? So I started tracking. Week 1, you can see here, I had 776, 76. Scored 33 out of 35. Second week, not so good, 27 out of 35. Third week, 30 out of 35. What I'll tell you is, the week before I started tracking it, the score would have been about 12. Because I wasn't measuring it, I wasn't conscious, I wasn't aware, I wasn't being deliberate. Whatever you measure improves. In life, in happiness, and in your business. Your KPIs, your metrics as we call them, whatever you choose to measure will automatically improve. This is Zach. Zach's 14. He's here as well. You can see him sat in the back here. Don't give him a round of applause. He's 14. He'll get a big head. No, I said don't. Don't give him a round of applause. So at the start of the year, by the way, every year, as a family, we get together, normally New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, we all get together round my house, myself, Nat, Zach, Ty, and my mum and Tone, and we all get together at our house, and we do a process called Best Year Yet. And it's a brilliant book by, I want to get this right, correct me, mother, if I'm wrong, Ginny Ditzler. Close. Google Best Year Yet, you'll find it, or find it on Amazon. Anyway, so every year we get together and do this process called Best Year Yet. We actually now do it, and by the way, my team hate me for this, but I think it's amazing. We now do it with our clients as well. So we, as much as they hate it, we run an event between Christmas and New Year for our clients where I facilitate the Best Year Yet goal setting, planning, setting of the intention for the next year process with our clients. So at the turn of this year, January 2023, Zach set a number of goals. One of them, one intention, and remember, whatever you measure improves, one of them was, I have completed 175 training sessions in 2023. When we came to review his progress in March 2023, guess how many sessions he'd done? Well, it was probably slightly better than 1 or 2, so thank you for those voting, putting your vote of confidence in my son. The answer actually is, we didn't know. We didn't know. because we weren't tracking it. We'd set the goal, but now we weren't tracking, we weren't measuring. And so he was just doing the training that he'd been doing. So I thought, how can I help and support him in measuring this? And I thought, he's 14. Money, basically. Some kids get their pocket money by doing chores around the house. Zach gets his pocket money for training because he's football obsessed, so is Ty. He's football obsessed, and I know that his best chance of improving and being a better player, being fitter, stronger, more skillful, more talented, and then ultimately, maybe having a career in football, rests on training now at 14. So I was like, what can I do? If he wants to earn a living in the future for playing football, it'd be cool if he can earn a living now for training. That would be a good setup. So I said to him, here's what I'll do for you. I'll give you, for every session that you do, and by the way, he does personal training at the gym with a trainer. He'll go out for runs on his own. He'll do ball work that he's been set, drills by his coach in the garden. So he's got all sorts of different things he can do. For every session you do, and log and track, I will pay you £10. I know, it's generous, isn't it? Yeah, thank you. You don't realise how good you've got it. I'll pay you £10. So train on Monday, £10. Train on Tuesday, £10. That's 20. Train on Wednesday, £10. That's 30. However, for every day you miss, I'm going to cut your balance by 50%. Zach starts logging his progress. He doesn't know that I've got these. Funny story. I went up to his room yesterday to borrow his trainers because we're the same shoe size now. So he often will wear mine. In fact, in that picture there, those are my trainers that he's wearing. But I borrowed his trainers yesterday. And when I was there, I saw this on the side. I thought, it'd be cool to include this in the slides. So you can see he's got a weekly, so he's got 1 to 10 weeks down the left, and he's got Monday to Sunday, and he ticks them off, and he's got a cross if he didn't train. He is allowed to cash out every so often. So he's logged where he's cashed out as well. But here's the point. The reason he set the goal at the start of the year was because he's like me, he's not massive in terms of build. A lot of the kids that he plays with are bigger, stronger, faster than he is. And so the reason he set the goal of 175 sessions was so he could get bigger, stronger, faster. And the reason for that was he'd started dropping down the pecking order, if you like, in his football team. So he'd gone from regular starter to occasional starter to then pretty much sub every game. And it got to the point where his confidence was knocked. It probably hit me more than it hit him, to be perfectly honest. But he wasn't really enjoying his football anymore. And so when he started tracking and he started training more and he started doing more fitness, more running, more strength training, more ball work, guess what happens when you start doing those things? Everything improves. Check this out. Absolute scenes. By the way, just for fun, the little number 9 there is actually Ty, my 10-year-old. He's not even playing. It's not even his team. He's on the pitch celebrating. So this game was last season there was 2 teams that were going for the league title, and this game they were nil, and they had to win the game to take it to the last game of the season. And it was the last game of the season was a head-to-head against the other top team. So it's nil, and this is the last minute of the game. They get a free kick. Zach steps up. By the way, I'm going to play this again because if you watch it carefully, you'll notice that I was linesman. And it's a bit blurry because it's on a big screen and this was filmed on somebody's phone. But if you pay really close attention in the back, you can see what can only be described as a mental linesman celebrating the goal. So he steps up. Last minute of the game, it's a bit blurry. So he's on the left of the screen here. You'll see when the ball goes. Bang. Top corner. Absolute scenes. Mental linesman, can you see him? Shaking the flag like this. Like some kind of nutter. So look, here's the point. Whatever you measure improves. Doesn't matter if it's a KPI in your business. Doesn't matter if it's fitness. These are things that you can do with your family to increase your happiness. And look, here's the point. When you set these intentions, no matter if they're in your personal life or in your business, whatever you measure improves, and then magic happens. I can't explain how that happened. That didn't happen directly because he committed to 175 sessions and started tracking them. It happened because when you take positive action consistently, magic happens that your eye cannot explain.